Hello, honorable members of the class. So, welcome to my YouTube channel, and we are remaining in Pretoria at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Of course, I'm having afterthoughts after the other video that I made. Guys, let's talk about Shadrack Sibiya, who is the Deputy Police Commissioner. And it was the first time I actually learned that the National Police Commissioner has 3 deputies. Yeah, I'm glad that we are learning. I'm glad that we are learning, and we're having this commission of inquiry. It's giving a perspective of, oh, okay, it makes sense why we will have this for policing, deputy for administration, and deputy for investigations, which is, of course, dictatorship. Not dictatorship, for detectives, let me put it that way. And Sibiya is part of the detectives, and you have to think about it, like, oh, it makes sense why the criminal cartels, they realize that, the National Police Commission is an upstanding man. But definitely there is somebody who loves money amongst the other 3. But most importantly is the important one, investigations. Because guess what? A lot of people have opened cases before with the police, and then a docket, of course, it is put together, and then it's supposed to be taken where? To the MPA, and then the MPA guides the court on this particular complaint or the case, right? But then you get to court and you hear that docket is lost. Why? Because somebody went and bought the investigating officer to get rid of the docket, or a very important part of the docket. And then a magistrate looks at the docket and says, but I see there's a complaint, but there's no evidence. And therefore, the magistrate will then have to ask the MPA, what are the prospects of you winning this case without the evidence? And also, the name of the perpetrator. So now it's making sense, because as the person that is responsible for detectives, clearly you also build some sort of relationship with corrupt detectives and the investigators, Senzo Meyiwa. And then what do? They lose, and they have to lose important evidence, or dilute, or contaminate, or whatever the case is, including unaliving witnesses, even when the witnesses are in the witness protection unit. You have to ask yourself, how is that even possible? It's making a whole lot of sense. But what I picked up from Dr. Van Rooyen is that the deputies of the National Commissioner, they don't have the power to take mandate from a minister and then implement that mandate, because they report to the National Police Commissioner, who, of course, the final arbiter at the operational level. But the National Commissioner can, with the consultations that you have with these deputies, then consult with the minister, because the National Police Commissioner reports to the Minister of Police. Again, this is it's proving my point about SAPS being removed from government, where we don't need a minister, because the minister who might be a crook or even the mastermind of organized crimes in South Africa gets to be told through consultation by the National Police Commissioner that, so while we were doing our investigations, we discovered that you are actually the mastermind of the organized crimes. What do you think is going to do? What do you think is going to do? So now, because Fanny Masemolo is an upstanding police commissioner, what does the minister do? Jumps him and goes to one of his deputies. And then the deputy, because he's super ambitious, an alleged crook, there can never be peace between a criminal and a police officer. So clearly, Lieutenant Khwanazi had ruled this man like, this is a criminal. This is a criminal. So because the Minister of Police understands the mind of the deputy police commissioner, hence the instructions that were unlawful were given to the deputy. And then Dr. Van Rooyen is like, well, the deputy cannot take any action without consulting with the National Police Commissioner, who is the final arbiter in operations. And then before operations, of course, he would have consulted with the Minister of Police. Now it's beginning to make sense why the minister was so angry. So angry that the PKTT was still taking dockets of political unalivings. Guys, I have a suggestion. You can nail me on the cross with this one all you want, but if the current police or National Police Commissioner decides, you know what, guys, I relented. I broke my oath of office, and I don't think I'm fit any longer to serve as a National Police Commissioner, and therefore I tender my letter of resignation as the National Police Commissioner. That is if he does that. But I know the worry even with me is, oh my goodness, that will open doors for other ambitious and then do you think the president is going to appoint a caliber of Fanny Masemula? I don't think so. This is where I'm also stuck between a rock and a hard place about whether should he resign or not. If he does resign, oh my goodness, what is it going to open us to? If it doesn't, but still, the integrity of the office you hold is jeopardized. Do you see the dilemma I find myself in? But here's a suggestion. This is a suggestion. Can we, as South Africans, because we have the power, to demand that the president appoints a non-ANC aligned National Police Commissioner? Like somebody in the FF Plus? Yeah, woo! I see people already going, yeah, somebody in FF Plus. And also, because clearly, I don't think Senzo Meyiwa is coming back as Minister of Police. I'll be shocked if he did. I'll be very, very shocked if he did. And if he is no longer the Minister of Police, again, the next Minister of Police, can he also come or she come from FF Plus? I know. Ooh, I see y'all already aiming. Go ahead. Pull the trigger. But you would understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I think a lot of people actually do, because I see the comments about the next president. I do see them. I see our aunts. I am a millennial. I'm a Gen X millennial because I was born just the end of Gen X into millennials. And our aunts, they are in their 70s, others late 60s and mid 60s. They lived through apartheid. Their parents had more than 2 jobs. They were able to take care of a family, even though circumstances were difficult for Black people at that time. And they are the ones that are talking, and they are feeding that information to their offspring. And the offsprings are saying, if it was like that back then, when in terms of the how do I put it, capacity, then probably we should do that. Probably that's how we should go. And I am saying, can the Minister of Police as well as the National Police Commissioner come from FF Plus? Yeah, FF Plus. I'm comfortable with FF Plus. That they come from FF Plus. Yeah, go ahead. Pull them trigger. Pull them. But that's just my suggestion. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I would see in the comment section. And before I leave, YouTube tells me to tell you to watch these 2 videos right here. All right. Or this way. Is it this way, that way, or whichever way? Please don't leave the video without liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.